everyone, Potter Sam. Welcome to the inbox review. So, today we're looking at Tamiya's venerable R32 Nissan GTR Skyline. I've got both kits here. We're going to do a very quick comparison of them both, what's different in them as far as I can tell. I know not a lot about Japanese cars, so I'm kind of guessing when I'm looking at things. But we're going to look at them both. I built this kit before. I built the black box in a couple of years back, a year or so ago. Did the beautiful cherry red colour. It was before I was doing everything as a video build, so I didn't do it as a video build, unfortunately. Looked awesome. I didn't own it for long because somebody wanted it and they traded it for another kit. And I've been wanting to build another one ever since. So I ended up buying an Nismo version, and then I saw a body kit for the black version and thought, I won't waste an Nismo because it's slightly different, as you'll see in a minute. I'll buy another one of these, end up with two because I forgot I already own one. And we've also got the Hobby Design detail upset as well for the greedy. I'm going with greedy. It's not greedy, it's not, no double E. Detail upset, which has got a bit of a major issue, and we'll get to that in a little bit. So sit back, put your feet up. We're going to have a quick look through the box of this, what is becoming a classic Tamiya kit, and have a look at the differences as far as I can tell, and look at the aftermarket set as well. Hey everyone, please subscribe to the channel, click the bell notifications, get notified of our latest videos, give the video a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and leave a comment. I do read and appreciate every comment you guys and girls leave behind. I may not reply to them all, but they are all appreciated. And there's a link in the description of the video that takes you to a big long list of all handy videos and a lot of the products I use in my videos. You now have the chance to support the video content creation by using Patreon or the PayPal me link in the description down below. All the videos will always remain free to watch. This is just your chance to help support the videos. Right then, my next kit possibly that I'll be building, as I said, will be this R32 Nissan Skyline GTR from Tamiya, 24 scale. It's one of their older kits, but I've built it before, it goes together pretty well. Along with this detail upset, which I'm a bit optimistic about, and I'll show you why in a little bit. I'm hoping it'll go together just fine. Now, there's two boxes to this kit. There's this, the standard one, as much as you can call it standard, and then there's the Nismo one. There's a few differences in there. I think the main differences are basically the wheels, and this front bumper has two inserts in it. I'm pretty sure that's about all the details that are different. I may well be wrong, and I'm sure some of the purists are out there are probably shouting at the screen, telling me I'm wrong, but I'll be honest, I haven't got a clue. So for the purpose of the video, you're going to look at this. I might whip the other kit out and have a look at the differences. But like I said, I built this before. It goes together with no real issues at all. Looking at instructions later, we'll have the aftermarket later as well. But here's the body shell. Now, the body shell is going to need some modifications for that set that I have there. So we'll deal with that as and when we get to it. But typical plastic from Tamiya. It's moulded in the gunmetal grey colour the R32 comes in. There's some tricky seams on the back. There's some pretty wicked, nasty seams on the back end. If I can get it to focus for you. To clean up. No, we're not going to focus. To a degree. Yeah, pretty wicked, but it does take a bit of care to do. Maybe don't lose all your logos if you're trying to keep them. There's a seam down the back of the bumper and what have you. But they are pretty wicked. And then the rest of it goes up along the top of the roof line, down the A-pillar, across the top of the bonnet edge and down the front bumper. Now we're going to be cutting the front bumper off all the way across the front. I'll show you that in a little bit. But for the most part, the body shell is quite clean. It's got a few wisps of plastic here and there. So just run your sand around as and where required. We'll also be taking off these side skirts as well and putting new ones on. So pretty major surgery required on our kit. So hopefully it'll all go well. Like I said, I built this kit before. Other than the difficult seams on the back, I don't remember anything problematic about it. It does have the engine in there as well, which is a pretty cool touch. I didn't do the engine last time. I went for a quick build and I closed the bonnet up if I remember right. So it would be nice to revisit this and do the full build properly. But overall, body shell, not too bad. If I show you the difference in basically what you get. So this is the white body. So this is white on this kit, which for the purpose of what I'm doing might be a little bit easier. So as far as I can see, it is fundamentally the exact same body shell. The difference is, and it's a lot more apparent on this one is you've got the kind of aligned cutouts in the front. It's hard to see on the grey plastic, which is why I thought I'd show you on the white. So you have to cut those out, and then those two bumper inserts, which are these intakes here, go in the front. So that's one of the main differences in the kit. If I can grab it though, I'll show you the others. So fundamentally the kit's the same. What I'm doing, I think the plastic on the white might be a bit easy to see what I'm doing. I'm not sure yet, but either way we'll use one or the other. It's the same thing anyway, as far as I'm aware. Like I say, probably got people going, no it's not, this is different. But it looks pretty much the same to me, so we'll go with that. As with the kit, with the wheels, so the glass is going to be the same. These are the kit wheels, which we also get in here on the same sprue. As you can see, I'm going to zoom out a bit, sorry, I'm a bit zoomed in. So there's the kit sprues there, so they're the same wheels on each of these. And then in this kit are these wheels, which are quite a bit larger. Now, I've no idea what they are. They're probably TEs, 12Es, whatever they're called. The T37s, or I don't know, are they T37s? I am useless at Japanese cars. I haven't got a clue, but they are fundamentally bigger wheels. You've got bigger discs and calipers, steering wheel, there's a strut brace, you've got these little spats, which I assume go on the back. I think there's a lower spoiler for it. There's those intakes as well. So this is probably the only difference, really, maybe in the kit. Although there is a chrome part. Look, we do get a chrome sprue as well. So we do have a different exhaust and an intercooler as well. So they must be the main differences in the kit. We can get the chassis. So what's that? That's the tub off that. That's the tub off that. There's the chassis parts there. So if we whip these out. Yeah, so they're the same sprue. The glass is the same sprue. So the difference is this extra sprue here and that chrome sprue. So that doesn't come on the other one. So the standard exhaust system is there. Yeah, so it's a completely different exhaust system as well. Yeah, it's actually quite a nice chrome, that, to be fair. So they're the differences in the kit. I'm not going to go through this fully because I can't be bothered, if I'm completely honest. And there's no point because we're going to look at the main kit that we're going to be using anyway. So we'll pop all those bits back in there. Was it that one? I forget what come with what now. Yeah, that was from there. That was from there. We'll put the lid back on. But there we go. It's a bit dear with this kit. This one you can pick up around the £15 mark, depending on where you shop. This one's around 22. You do get a bit of extra plastic in there. Get another set of wheels. You get another set of discs, different steering wheel, things like that. Extra body pieces. So it's up to you what you're going for. For what we're doing with this body kit from Greedy, Greddy, whatever you want to call it, we don't need that. So it's a shame to waste that kit. Hence why I bought another one of these and then realised I still have another one in the stash. So I've got two of these. So awesome. That's just what we need. Anyway. There we go, so that's what we got. So there's the body shell, looking good, not real problematic bar the seams, which they're a little bit tricky to do. I remember last time struggling with them a little bit, but that is by the by. And then here, we got the big sprue of all the wheels on, the big sprue of all the interior on, some seats, the spoiler, the steering wheel. Yeah, it is showing its age. It is a little bit flashy here and there. It's probably been moulded about 4 million times, but it's an older Tamiya kit, so it still checks out. But it's all good. We've got the engine, which is RB26, I believe it is on these. I'm not very good again. Excuse me if I got it wrong. Got some nice detail underneath, so you know if you want to dry brush it, not that I would on these, you can. There's no interior detail here because obviously there's a cockpit tub, but we do have some engine bay detail just there as well. And like I say, engine detail, it's going to be pretty vague. I have seen other versions of the engine out there, whether they're 3D printed or not, I don't know. But for our purposes of this, the detail's not bad. There's the engine cover there, the twin cam, wherever it says. What does it say? Twin cam, 24 valves. Lovely. Very, very nice. So it'll look up onto tin. It'll look alright. And like I say, plastic's typical Tamiya. This one's pretty clean, this sprue. There's no real flash on it. I mean, like the window wipers, nice delicate parts, which are still nice and crisp. But I've seen on that black spray over there was a bit of flash. So whether it's a different type of styrene, and it's not held up as well. Nice suspension components, auxiliary drive belts, anti-roll bars, the steering bar, the intake air filter box, airflow center, steering column, cam cover, the front differential, I'm assuming that is, axles, the ace frame, subframes, rear suspension, and obviously the chassis itself. So this is the part that's showing a bit of flash. So yeah, if you're looking around the steering wheel, it's not the cleanest plastic. It'll be this type of plastic. It's this horrible black stuff. It's never as good as the other styrene, so it is what it is. So we've got a gear shifter, our steering wheel, cooling fan, handbrake lever, brake master cylinder, number plates, coolant hose. We've got the rear spoiler, which again we'll be replacing on this. Cockpit tub, nothing really to look at here. Quite mundane interiors on these. But we'll make the most of it what we can. Bit of flocking in there, what have you. Seats, pretty standard Japanese car seats. A little bit boring. Maybe we can see what we've got in the spares box. Spice it up a little bit. I did see some very, very nice seats of the day, and they were from Scale Production, where I just ordered from. Never even thought to get any. And then we've got some more engine components here, wing mirrors, and the steering knuckles as well. So all pretty, what's the word? Uninspiring in a way. It is very uninspiring plastic, but you make of it what you can from the kit, and you end up with a lovely kit. Like I said, I've built this before, it builds up beautiful. Other than a bit of seam work, it's a good looking car. So we've got the standard fuel tank, rear window wiper, the battery. So you've got a fully detailed engine bay, which isn't too bad. The standard wheels aren't bad. The disc and calipers, they're a little bit small. Probably do have an upgrade. I do have some aftermarket ones in the Hobby Design set, which are a bit small as well, to be honest. But we'll play by ear. I've got loads of spare Tamiya ones, so maybe we can chuck a set of those in. I don't know. Cooling rads there as well. Dashboard. The standard exhaust with quite a decent back box, which we can edit. I'm sure we can put a bigger box on the back, and that's it really. Like I say, not much to write home about. We've got the full engine in there, which is quite nice, or near enough a full engine. But it's just one of Tamiya's old school kits. It's knocking on. It must be, what's the date of the box? Let's have a look, see if it tells me. 1989, so it's old. But it shows the difference in quality between this and that BMW that I just stalled on, the BMW 50. That this is still going well. Tyres, 4 tyres, a polycaps are in there as well, and these are lovely. If I can get this to focus for you. They are branded as well. So they are branded Bridgestone Potenza RE71s, nice tread on, a bit of a seam through the middle, but we can soon sort that out and get rid of that. So nice tyres. Again, we're not using them, bit of a shame, but we do have aftermarket ones in the kit, and then the clear parts. And as I always say, clear car parts can make or break a kit. Can't remember what these are like because I tinted mine because I kind of cheaped out and didn't do the interior. So we'll have a look. So there's the main. Not the most optically clear Tamiya I've seen before, but still more than acceptable. A little bit of light hazing on the front when you look through it, but fine, no marks on it. Nice and clean, nice and simple. You see a little bit of distortion. It's not the best, but you know, it's old plastic. It's about 33 years old. Not that this will be, it's probably a more modern pop, but you know, I mean, the original molds are that old. So not too bad at all. It's not going to cause 2 issues. For some reason they give us a clear bonnet. Never a fan of these. Never understand why Tamiya does it. Should we do something different on this build? Should we carbon the bonnet? That'd be something that look cool. I really don't know. I really don't know, but it's a clear bonnet, and then obviously we've got all the lights, headlights, tail lights, indicators, and what have you there. And again, no problems. It's not, like I say, it's not the best clear plastic, but it's by far and away not the worst at all. It is still very acceptable for modern day clear plastic. It's just not as optically clear as a brand new kit, and to be honest, I would expect that off a 30-odd-year-old kit, so no problems there. And then decals, and again, we've got decals in our aftermarket set, so how many of these we'll use, I don't know, but very basic speedo, number plates, wheel hub, and the usual GTR markings as well. There'll be no issue on these will come off fine. Make sure you set them in place properly. It can be a little bit tricky to set with them being older decals, but yeah, you'll have no problem there at all with those. They'll all go down really well. Let's have a quick look at instructions as well before we go to the aftermarket. So in here we've got a colour call out marking sheet as per usual. So always handy to get. And then typical Tamiya instructions. You've got your colour call outs here. These are old school Tamiya instructions with a little dude at the top saying don't do this. He's changed now. Starting off with the engine assembly, all pretty straightforward. Follow your call outs. Don't always go by the Tamiya call outs. They're not always correct. We've got a bit of info on the front cover, and I forgot to show you. You want to pause that, you can have a little read. So yeah, take Tamiya's call outs with a pinch of salt. Do your own research on that from my experience. But we start off with engine. Obviously we'll start with the bodywork, but engine, drivetrain, running gear, brakes, chassis, getting all some of the ancillary components in the engine bay, suspension, get the engine in, drivetrain, rear diff, front diff, anti-roll bars, fuel tank, so on and so forth. Straight at step 9, we go to putting the wheels on, exhaust in place, mid-mount support for the engine, transmission, and this under tray here on the front as well. Onto the interior, which, you know, which way you paint your interior is up to you. It does give you some ideas here. Basically using greys, which is pretty standard for Japanese interiors of this era, I think. Steering wheel, detail paint, some decals to go on here and there as well. And obviously getting the interior on the chassis itself. Getting the glass in, it does need masking off a little bit, but not a lot at all. I think there is a masking set from a few companies out there for this, but very basic masking for the glass, so that's good. And then we've got, what the hell is this about? What's this thing here? Okay, there's a little plate that goes in there. Okay, it's a bit weird, I've never seen that before. Anyway, very strange. Okay, get the chassis and body mated together, rear window wiper, rear lights, rear spoiler, rear number plate. All pretty standard stuff. And then putting your front window wipers on, wing mirrors, some more of the components to the engine bay, like the brake master cylinder, the lights, and then the main headlights and the bonnet in place there as well. Pretty standard instructions. So just as normal from Tamiya. From outside, so let's open this. So this was, I think this was about £50 this set. So we get a bumper in there. We get new discs, new calipers, new intercooler. We get spats for the back. Let's go behind the rear bumper. The other one's in the other bag. We get some side skirts. We get 2 spoilers in here, which we'll look at in a second. We've got a bag of photo etch. We've got resin seatbelt buckles, more decals, 4 different sets of PE, which we'll go through in a minute. Some seatbelt material and the wheels. And again, I'm not going to pretend to know what they are because I haven't got a clue. Very nice turned wheels with resin inserts and turned aluminium air valves. So they're nice as well. Be careful assembling those. And some tyres, which sadly, whilst they have nice tread on them, are not branded at all. So let's have a look through this. Now, instructions, I will show you what we get. Very vague instructions. So that's what we need to do. So the front bumper needs cutting off. Front bumper needs cutting off. The side skirts need cutting out. These just fit over the back, so they're not a drama. Spoiler, we've got 2 trains of thought on this. There's the 2. This is the one that overhangs the edge. I'm not as keen on that one. I prefer the other one. That's more like the standard spoiler. So I don't know which one we're going to use. There's our 4 sets of PE, some decals, the seat belts, and then start of the instructions. And they're very vague instructions, but these are quite clear. You got some PE to put on the intercooler, the disc, the calipers, the wheels, all the PE to go on the front bumper, and then on the back you've got more decals to go down, and then detailing to the engine base. So we replace all the cooling fan blades with PE, which will look infinitely better. some different covers for the engine cover, hose clamps, turret, suspension turret surrounds as well. P window wipers, which are no longer my nemesis thanks to Philip, so thank you, Philip. P for the instruments, P for the lights, and obviously our seatbelt as well. Now, there's two main problems with this, which is why it may or may not become my next build. And the main problem, which is a bit daunting, is we've got to cut this front bumper off. Which, on the whole, isn't the end of the world. And I'll show you why. Because we need to follow that line there, that seam line there, and then go across the top behind this raised part here, under the grille and around the other side. Now that's not really much of a problem, or it wouldn't be if this bumper wasn't bent out of shape. So if I straighten that there, as you can see, this piece is fine, this bit is well off. So it really is quite skewy, and I've measured it and it's upwards of 4mm off on this side. You can see it there now, look. It's massively off. So this is going to need bending into shape, which is something I've never done, if I'm honest. We've got a bit of wisp of flash and that to remove, which is, there you go, takes seconds to do. A little bit under there, which we can get rid of later. So, hot water trick, we have to run under hot water and try and bend it into shape. But there you go, there's wisps of flash gone. The biggest point is, I honestly think that is warped in many areas. Because if I lay it down flat there, it just looks wrong. So that's in line on my cutting mat, along the front edge. And it just looks all kinds of misshapen this side. It really does. So, I don't know, but we're going to have to take this bumper off first to figure out if it's going to fit. So we're going to ruin this kit either way. It's a 15 quid kit. It's not the end of the world if it gets wrecked, but it does mean this is wasted. I can build the rest of it with the side skirts and what have you. I would really like to change the bumper. It is a nice bumper. It's not a million times different than the one that comes with the kit. It's got some slightly different soft moulded detail on the edge. These are open on the front, although admittedly I could open them myself. So, you know, two trains of thought. Do we leave the standard bumper on? Or do we try and get this in place? Because I've got a feeling I'm going to cut that bumper off, and even if I get it perfect, this thing is going to go nowhere near even remotely fit. I think this side will. I think the left-hand side will. Or the bottom for where you're looking. I do not think that top is going to go anywhere near it. Because if I line that up so it's touching, you can see how far off it is. So it's going to need bending around here. So it's going to have to go under hot water. The very, very thin parts to bend, I got a feeling it's going to snap, personally. So I think it's a kind of do or die, this one. So I think we're just going to have to try and cut it off and see what happens. But anyway, that's by the by. So there's that part. We go through the rest of the bodywork panels. I shall show you these. So the side skirts here. If I get the right ones for the right side. So they're going to have to follow that line here. All the way across. As you can see, that will replace those. Not too difficult. We just have to cut that at an angle, that at an angle, trim them off, and then raise your saw that straight. And it'll go right over that line there because there's a new line that replaces it. So that shouldn't be too difficult, he says. Just a bit of careful sawing shouldn't be a problem. Spoilers, this is the one that overhangs. It's beautifully made, don't get me wrong. I suppose it does look pretty cool and different. But for me, I just don't like it. Just not my kind of thing. It's a bit OTT for me. I'm not a fan. I much prefer this more standard style spoiler with a little lip at the back. I think it's more suiting to the car itself, but hey, we'll figure that out. And then we've got these spats, which I think fit on just like that there. So they just rest over the top and go around the back like so. So they're pretty easy to do. But the bumper, front bumper, is going to be the point of contention on this, and is what's going to cause an absolute nightmare. But it is what it is. Hey ho. We can try and sort it out. Right, so we've got some brake calipers. All new resin brake calipers, so they're not too bad at all. A little bit of cleanup. Don't cut off those legs. I've made that mistake before. We've got a new intercooler there as well, which has got some PE trim to go on it. Pretty bland bit of resin, but once you get it on, there's the other wheel arch back there, and then the discs, which are tiny in my opinion. But hey, if they're right for the car, they're right for the car. So there's the resin part. So the resin quality is pretty good, other than that front bumper, which is atrocious. So hopefully we can get the bumper to fit. I'm optimistic that maybe, maybe, just maybe, we can get the rest of it to fit. Whether that's true or not is a completely different matter. We will certainly have to see. So yeah, that's the first job. Get the bumper off. Let's see if we can get it off in one piece without wrecking everything, and we'll go from there. Wheels, like I said, we've got some turned aluminium, resin insert, and the tyre valves. Pretty standard stuff. So nice turned aluminium wheel, and then the centre part of the wheel, like so. So glue them in place. And they look good, and then you've got the little valves in here, which are always a nice little touch. We can get it to focus. In there, they look pretty good. So wheels are good. Got to be careful with these. They don't apply too much pressure when you put them on. They're very easy to break or snap them apart. They pull the rim, the centre part out the side of the rim, and ruin all your paint. I did that on a set a while back on the cherry red one I was doing. So just be aware of what you do when you do that. And then the tyres, like I said, these aren't marked at all. And they're quite high profile as well, to be fair. They're not the largest of wheels, those. So we've got no sidewall markings, unfortunately. Got a bit of tread pattern on them, which isn't too bad. Just bring my light over a bit so you can see. And then obviously we've got excess rubber on the back to trim off, so not the end of the world. Not too bad at all. And then we've got all the photo etch malarkey. Which is here. So in here we have, so number one, there's a sheet of weird sticky back vinyl stuff, which is for your seatbelts. So cut them with a ruler, keep the spare because you're never going to use again, and it's pretty good seatbelt material, to be fair. Then got our resin seatbelt in there, seatbelt buckles, and some stickers. Stickers, decals. So pretty meh in there. We've got a bit of brass PE there, which is a bit weird. So we've got some brass PE there, and then 3 frets of your standard PE. So they're all the seatbelt buckles, look like towing eyes, what have you, some interior parts, engine parts in there, there's all sorts in there. Hobby design, PE, never going to be a problem. Got some more engine parts there, the instrument panel as well. All good, the intercooler cover, engine cooler, zip ties, hose clamps, the rear lights to save you painting them silver, which again is a really, really nice touch. And then we've got some PE for the brakes, so that's nice to see that we get PE for the brakes. So I'll add a little bit of detail to those brakes, make them look a bit less daunting, or make them look more interesting. Replacement blades for the coolant fan, all these mesh grills that are for the front bumper, window wipers, and of course the turret tops there as well for the suspension. And that's it really. So pretty basic kit, not a bad detail upset. Really annoyed about that front bumper being all warped and skew-iffy, but hey, what the hell can we do about that? And the only way to figure out it's going to fit is to try and fit it. I've had this for a while. I've been wanting to build it for a while, and I guess now is as good as ever with our Japanese group build starting on ISM. So I am going to start my build series on this, and hopefully you'll see this come to fruition with a nice new bumper on the front. And if not, this kit's going to be completely wasted. And we'll put all the parts on, bar the front bumper, on my other one. We shall see. But there we are. Let's go back to me with some final thoughts. So there you are. That's what we've got. So like I say, there's a few differences in the kit. If you want to do the Nismo version, I think for a few extra quid, you get a few extra bits, extra set of wheels, a few different bits in there, different steering wheel, what have you. What's going to happen to our kit, I don't know. It all depends whether that front bumper is going to fit. I don't know. I really don't know, because it is twisted to hell, that front bumper. Like I said, first job is get the old bumper off, tidy it up, get it roughly to fit, and then we have to get that resin under hot water and try and straighten it out a little bit and get it conformed into shape, which I'm going to be completely honest, touch wood, but it will. I think it's going to snap, personally. Even with the gentlest of conforming, I think it's going to snap on us. And we've got 2 ways to go. Then maybe go with the standard front bumper and put the rest of the body kit on, which wouldn't be a bad thing to do, I suppose. Or we look at an alternative, we'll have to see. But yeah, I'm not going to know that. So if you see a part 1 of this, there's a good chance they're all fitted together. If not, the build never happened, and we'll find something else. You'll see Lexus LFA being built probably. So there we are. So yes, that's it. The other question is, what colour? I love the cherry red, but I've done one in that colour before. I haven't got the paint again. I have to buy some more. I'd like to do the gunmetal grey colour, whatever it is, which is a iconic colour for this car. I don't have that either, so I need to order paint either way. So do I go with the metallic grey colour or the beautiful cherry red, which I really did like. But we've just done a red car, so I think the gunmetal colour might be the way to go. Yes, we might be. Might look in the stash of paint and see what we've got that's similar. I'll have a look. But there we are. So a bit of a strange review. I know nothing about these Japanese cars. I've never really had as much of an interest in these as I do with Fords. I know quite a bit about Fords. With the Japanese cars, different types of wheels and that, I am lost. I couldn't tell you what wheels are on these things. I know one of them in that pack of like 4 different sets of wheels is probably T37s. That's all I can guess. Other than that, I haven't got a clue. So you'll have to tell me. Yeah. But for the money, the black offering, you can get it for around £15. It's a good kit. There's a lot in it. It just needs a bit of cleanup. It's a 33-year-old venerable Tamiya kit. It might get discontinued at one point. So if you want one, stock up. Or as I did, buy 2 or 3 in total. So there we go. So I hope you like that review. It's a bit higgledy-piggledy, like I say, because there's so much to show. It really does hinge where we're going to get that bumper to fit. So stay tuned and we'll see. Thanks for watching today. As always, like to support the videos, all the content, the live streams and what have you. There's a Patreon me link down below. You get 2-week early access on all the videos. So if you're watching this on ISM, this was out 2 weeks ago on my Patreon. You could have watched it a lot earlier. And there's loads of videos there. There's normally about 8 videos on early release waiting to go. So you can go and sign up for that. I think tier 2 or higher is a minimum of £3 a month. And you also help knowing that you keep these videos and live streams going. There's also PayPal me and a Buy Me a Coffee link as well, so you want to do one-off donations. And of course, there's links to everything down below from ISM and UMP related. UMPretail.com, ISM forum and Facebook page, a group build page, Off Air Hangouts, my Paul ISM modelling page. We've got my merch page where you can get t-shirts and that when they get offered up. And my own scalemates and an email there as well to get in touch directly with me. Make sure you sub to the channel, click that bell notification to get notified of the latest videos. Give a thumbs up and leave a comment. I love reading all your comments down below. And a question for you. What's the most daunting thing you've ever had to do to a kit? For me, it's going to be stuff like this. Cutting bumpers off because there's no going back. You're going to destroy the bumper. And if it goes wrong, the kit's wrecked. So there's no going back on this. Thankfully, it's not a rare 60 quid kit. It's a 15 quid kit, which if I do ruin the bumper, I've got spare seats, wheels, steering wheels. None of it will go to waste. Of course, we don't want to ruin it, but it's by the by at the end of the day. So what's the most daunting thing you've ever had to do to a model kit before? Is it cutting wings off, lowering flaps, putting it in flight when it wasn't in flight, cutting spoilers, cutting mirrors off, adding body kits? What was it? Let me know in the comments down below. There we are. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.